COVID-19 is making people rude. And you're seeing on the news, university students or like kids are supposed to be studying for law degrees saying, I'm confused. Like, George, do you understand that, George? No, I didn't understand. I don't understand the word of it. I don't know. I don't even know if I can go and see my nan. They're paying them 29p a day. I'd rather you go into liquidation because you can't afford to pay people's salary. So guys, welcome back to the channel. I usually don't say that, welcome back to the channel, but yeah, welcome back. Basically, the 4-year-old that's warring at the 1-year-old and the 1-year-old runs away. If you hear that scream, that's the 1-year-old screaming and running away. Today's video, I wanted to talk about, you've probably seen from the title, things that we need to leave in 2020. So I've got about, how many? I feel like I've got 4 things, but I'm gonna break them down. I know that doesn't seem a lot, but it's very, very important. I even got a pen, okay? That's how important this is. A pen and a notebook. Screaming. So, let's get on to this. Number 1, post office queues. Okay. You understand what I mean, right? Post office queues. Post office queues are not funny. They are not funny. Prior to C19, there was always a queue in a post office, but it wasn't a long queue. Okay, there was certain hours during the day where you go in there, it's like it's pretty quiet. Nowadays this queue is so long, and on top of that, because like the staff have to social distance, right? Because they have to social distance, yeah, the queue is so slow. Like, the staff are not working fast, yeah. My local post office has a self-checkout, but like, what's the point of having a self-checkout machine when one of the staff has to come and authorize the final part of me like getting the stamp out and putting on my letter? And then, like, I don't understand the use of a self-checkout. I don't understand. Post office queues are ridiculously wrong. There's this one post office in my area, right? Yeah, I swear this post office, I've never seen it open. But like, I remember like during the beginning of like the first lockdown, there was a queue of people, but the post office was never opened. Like, it's not open to, when if someone like, when they close a shop and then they put that that thing that covers the whole shop, like, just so you don't get any thieves and nobody vandalizes your shop window, right? That thing, you know what it is, that thing they pull down to that protect the shop window. Even the other day, I was in Asda, and there was this lady, she said they sent her up the post office, one of the staff in Asda. Yeah, even the other day I was in Asda, right, yeah, and there was one of the staff in Asda, apparently they sent her up to the post office, and she was telling the other staff, she was like, you know what, they sent me up to that post office up the hill, and I got there and they were shut. And it's the same post office, every time I get off the train, that post office is never opened, but there's a queue of people. But the other day I went for an essential shop, right, and there was a geezer, right, yeah, he was on the phone, he was so frustrated, he was on the phone, he was like, have you seen the post office queue? Oh, it's ridiculous, it goes all around the corner and everything. Have you seen the post office queue in a shopping centre? Right, a post office queue in a shopping centre, and it's not even lockdown. Like, there's a shop in between the post office, and like, the line is not even straight, it goes like, straight, like, it's not even straight. And also, a little bit of advice, if you think, oh, you know what, I'm gonna come back a bit later when it's a bit quiet, don't. You might as well hustle it out. Just hustle it out, yeah, stand in a queue, because if you come back later, it's gonna be even more longer. Number 2, people who are not wearing face masks, but they're screwing at your face when you're wearing a face mask. Like, do you know how many screws? I've seen other people do this, yeah, and I've had it done to me as well, I think twice. Like, I've got a face mask on, but why are you screwing me? Like, if you're scared of COVID-19, why don't you wear a mask, okay? If you're scared, why don't you wear a mask? But you're screwing me because you see me coming and I've got a mask. Like, what is that? And if you're gonna cross the road because you see me coming, like, there was this one lady, right, local, I'm coming home from the shops, from the corner, right, we're coming home, she's actually walking down towards the high street. The way she literally crosses the road is so rude. She's like, why would would you cross the road like that? Don't make it obvious. You gotta cross the road. You see me come and cross the road. I know it's nothing to do with me. It's to do with what's going on with the world. But like, don't cross the road and you're screwing people's faces. I've seen people like if you're gonna show social distance, don't social distance in a very rude way where like somebody, like an old man came and sat next to this geezer, and basically the old man sat next to him, and this was like prior to like the first lockdown. He sat next to him. The guy's not wearing a face mask. The old man, he's elderly, so he needs to breathe. He was really frail, like he was proper frail, and like he was proper frail. And like the way this guy moved away from the old man, it was so rude. Also, I remember lockdown 1.0, like I remember, like a scene in the train station. I literally had to like break it up. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. Literally, this guy was gonna get his head smashed in with a wine bottle. Reason being, because there was this woman, she was on the train, and like she started having a conversation with us. And I started to understand that she was telling me like a life story, and she was telling me like they took her child, like she was drunk, she was under the influence, and she was telling me like, she was proper like telling me everything, and in front of my son as well. And like it was some people, you just understand that she's probably the way she is because they took her child. I just understood that maybe she's like this. It was broad daylight, afternoon, she's already drunk, she's got wine glasses in like a pushchair, and there's no kid, and like I just understood that she's probably going through some pain, and that's why she's that drinking. And like this guy right here, obviously she's under the influence. She goes and sit right next to this guy. Guy's not wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask, while this woman's sitting across to me, because you gotta be smart with some of these people. You can't just like dash them away and be like, no, I don't want to talk to you. You gotta be smart, right? This lady, she goes and sit right next to this guy on the train, and basically this guy, the way he stood up and walked away to another area of the train, literally, she noticed how like he stood up was just so rude. She literally was going to take one of the wine glasses that she had in the pushchair, or more, it was like a stroller, and like she was gonna smash his face in. I literally had to like stop the fight, because it was only me, this lady, and that guy within the train, and he was a bit arrogant. He wasn't helping because he was swearing back at her, and I was trying to tell him like, stop saying that, while she's holding a wine glass and I'm holding her back. This is lockdown 1.0, as in the first lockdown, and I'm breaking up a fight, and it's just me in that area of the train, just the three of us, me and my kids. I'm trying to break up a fight. COVID-19 is making people rude. Maybe these people just had a like rude attitude prior to C19. Number 3, politicians. Like, by the way, the baby's screaming, he's fine. That's his silly scream. He's screaming because he just wants to be silly screaming. He's silly scream. He's fine. My life, so see, he's laughing, so he's fine. Politicians, this might sound a bit mean, but they're telling you to social distance, but they're catching coronavirus themselves. And I don't mean to be mean. I'm supposed to be setting an example, but I do hope that, like, if you are a politician and you've gotten sick, I do hope you get better. But it's not helping when you're telling people to social distance, and then like you end up sick yourself. The other problem I have with politicians as well is like the rules, the restrictions that they keep putting on people. You're only allowed 6 people in the house, you're only allowed 6 people in the park, you're only allowed a couple of people. You are allowed, but only if you're gonna go for a jog. You are allowed if maybe you're gonna walk your dog out, or like you're not allowed to walk your dog out. The whole thing with that, the university students, or like they're allowed to go home, they're not allowed to go home before Christmas, or like they've got to stay indoors, they've got to do their course online. Kids can go to school. No, kids can't go to school, or kids will need to do testing. Why were they not testing them for C19 prior to them going back to school for the past 6 months? And you're seeing on the news, university students, or like Kids are supposed to be studying for law degrees, saying, I'm confused. Like, George, do you understand that, George? No, I didn't understand. I don't understand the word for it. I don't know. I don't even know if I can go and see my nan. Like, seriously, everyone's confused with these politicians. It's like, I don't know about other countries, but I definitely know in the UK, it's been a thing where I'm watching the BBC News or ITV News and everyone's like, what? Can we go home for Christmas then? Like, what? This is not good. It doesn't make sense. One thing we need to leave in 2020 is unclear restrictions. They need to be clear. Okay, stop playing with the garden key. Need to be clear with simple words. Simple words. Simple words. Break it down. Yeah. Number 4 are dodgy companies. What is one dodgy company? 1, 2 dodgy companies, and basically it's actually dodgy companies and like poor toxic work environments. So I don't know if you remember there was that Wayfair scandal where like they were selling these like expensive cabinets for like 20 grand or 10 grand, or it was a lot of like grand. On top of that, they were the names of the cabinets were names of people who'd had gone missing. I know, right? There was one girl, her name was there, and apparently she went missing. She like did a video or Instagram or Facebook or something. She was like, I am not missing, I am fine. It was seriously creeping people out, and we're like, something's dodgy is going on here. Is this human trafficking? What is this? Seriously, people were thinking it was human trafficking in disguise of like cabinets. Like, I'm not lying, you guys, it was like that. Another thing as well was Boohoo as well. Boohoo, they've actually just been on the news like last week, right? I was following Murad, right? Yes, Boohoo, again, they've been exposed for like toxic work environment. People are working in poor conditions. I'm sorry, if you've got a large company and you can't pay people enough money to feed themselves, what was it? Yeah, the one that was last week was they're paying people 29p a day in India, one of the Asian countries. They're paying them 29p a day. If you can't run a company where you can pay people a good pay, yeah, don't start up a company. When it comes to judgment day, yeah, when Jesus judges you, he's gonna say, listen, you're going to hell, mate. You're going to hell. Because why? Because Rosie couldn't feed her kids because of you. You gave her a job, she couldn't feed her kids. I'm sorry, Mark, but you're gonna have to go hell. Like, and look at you, the owner of the company. You're walking around with Versace, Gucci, like Prada. I'm sorry, but no, I find that disgusting. And like, that's why sometimes especially during this year, like when it came to like buying stuff from Boohoo, I was like, I'm not buying anything from Boohoo and Wayfair. I'm not buying stuff from companies that are, you know, coming up with these new dodgy. Even like I started unfollowing like one program where it was like they wouldn't even speak about racial topics. Like I'm just one of those people. I'm stopping like following companies that I am noticing are just really toxic, basically. Just weird, dodgy stuff going on in those companies and like TV shows. And Ellen DeGeneres as well. Her stuff came out, but look at her, she's back. Yeah, she's back. Hopefully she sorted her stuff out. Even those are the 4 things I feel like we need to end them. I'm pretty sure other people have done other things, but these are mine. I feel like are just really, really important. Sort out the post office queues, you guys. Sort out the post office queues and sort out those self-checkout machines. Yeah, they need to be working. You don't need to come and authorize stuff for us, yeah, because then the queue will move a bit fast. Non-face mask people, stop screwing up your face. Wear a face mask, yeah, wear a face mask and stop screwing people. Politicians, be more clear when it comes to the restrictions, like, because it seems like the only restrictions that we understand is that shops are going to be closed. That's the only thing we understand. Companies as well, stop hiring people if you can't pay them decent salary. Okay, if they can't pay their rent, if they can't even eat themselves on that day with the money you're paying for them, don't start up a company. Shut that company down. Go into liquidation. I'd rather you go into liquidation because you can't afford to pay people's salary.